What if the best bass upgrade for your car isn't a giant box eating up your trunk, but something small enough to disappear under your seat? That's the whole idea behind Underseat Subwoofers, and it's exactly why more car owners are skipping the trunk build entirely. Think about it, you want real bass, not the thin, tinny sound your factory speakers give you, but you also don't want to give up your trunk space for groceries, strollers, or golf clubs. So what do? This is where JBL's BassPro SL comes into the picture. It's an 8-inch powered subwoofer, which means the amplifier is already built inside the box. No separate amp to mount, no extra wiring maze. Just one unit that slides under most front seats. But here's what surprised me. JBL didn't just shrink a regular subwoofer and call it done. The enclosure is shaped to be shallow and low profile, so it clears seat rails in sedans, SUVs, and compact cars that most bigger subs simply can't fit under, and subwoofer link is in the description. Now let's talk about what makes it move air. Inside is a Class D amplifier, a lean, efficient design that stays cool even when you're pushing it hard. It's rated at 125 watts RMS, meaning that's the power it can handle continuously, not just a quick burst. Peak power tops out at 250 watts, which covers those sudden hits in bass-heavy tracks. There's one thing most buyers don't realize. On paper, those numbers look modest compared to some trunk-mounted subwoofers pushing several times more power. Does that mean it's weak? Not exactly. The BassPro SL isn't trying to compete with a massive ported box shaking your rearview mirror. It's built for something different. Clean, controlled bass that fills in what your factory system is missing without turning your car into a nightclub. Compared to stock speakers, the difference is night and day. Compared to a big trunk subwoofer, it's noticeably tighter with less raw chest thump, and stacked up against other compact powered subs on the market, it leans more toward accuracy than brute output. It's tuned for clarity, not for winning a loudness contest. And this is where it gets interesting. The frequency response runs from 35 Hz to 120 Hz. In plain terms, that's the low-end range, the deep notes your door speakers usually can't touch. You also get an adjustable crossover between 50 and 120 Hz, which lets you decide exactly where the sub stops and your other speakers take over. There's also a bass boost dial, adding up to 9 dB of extra punch around 70 Hz for songs that need a little more kick. What's it actually like behind the wheel? Here's the catch. At normal driving volume, it adds real depth. Bass lines feel present instead of buried. But if you're expecting your seat to vibrate like a competition car, that's not this product's job. Now, here's something worth knowing before you install it. You get both high-level inputs, which connect to your factory speaker wires, and RCA inputs for aftermarket head units. That flexibility means it works whether you have a stock stereo or an upgraded one. It's not plug and play for a total beginner, but if you've handled basic wiring before, it's very manageable. You can also add a wired remote to control bass level right from the driver's seat, so you're not reaching under your seat every time you want to fine-tune it. There are a few finer details that add up too. LED indicators let you know at a glance if the unit's powered on or in protection mode. Built-in circuitry guards the amplifier against overheating, overloading, and short circuits, which is reassuring if you're new to installing car audio. But that's not the whole story. Like any product, it has limits. On the plus side, it saves cargo space. It's simple to integrate, the bass stays clean instead of muddy, and it works well in sedans, SUVs, and smaller vehicles where a trunk sub just doesn't make sense. On the downside, if you're chasing rattle your fillings bass, this isn't built for that, and since it only handles low frequencies, you still need your existing speakers for everything else. So who's this really for? Daily drivers, commuters. People who want meaningfully better low-end without needing a show car built around bass. If that's you, this checks a lot of boxes. So is the JBL BassPro SL actually worth buying in 2026? If you want stronger, tighter bass without losing your trunk, and you're not chasing over-the-top volume, yes, it still holds up. It's not the loudest option out there, but it might be the smartest one.